Ask Abby, providing answers, insights, and education designed to give you the tools and knowledge you need to thrive financially and live confidently in retirement.
And welcome into the program. We are here with Abby Reed of the Retirement Family Reed Financial Group, another edition of Ask Abby. And Abby, a lot of people, I think, are rightfully concerned with the lack of progress in Congress in dealing with this debt ceiling debate. Now, we passed our debt ceiling back in January. So far, we've been kind of using general funds to float, but we've really not seen a whole lot of progress up in Washington, kind of at a stalemate. Is this concerning to you and to investors out there?
It is. It is a concern. So the debt ceiling being hit has happened many, many times over the years, over 60 times since the 1960s, actually. So this is something that has happened on a regular basis. Should this be a concern for investors? Is it a concern for investors? And is it something that we're concerned about? And the answer is yes, absolutely. This is something that didn't used to be an issue. So starting in 2011 is when there was a lot of debate and kind of drama around the debt ceiling. Before that, if it was hit, then it was raised pretty much unanimously. Now it is, as political division has increased over the past decade or so, it's a opportunity for additional fighting. And so what happened last time when there was a lot of drama around this in 2011, stocks had that 1 week when it was the worst, stocks had the worst week since 2008, which was obviously a really bad year. So if this continues, if they continue to fight, if they continue to not be able to agree on raising the debt ceiling, then it could, even if eventually things work out, it could really roil up the market, especially with stocks. And that is a concern for investors, and it's a concern for us, as well as potential ramifications of if they don't raise the debt ceiling, and what that could look like as far as a government shutdown.
For more conservative investors, then, is maybe this a time to evaluate how we are positioned?
It is. It is a time to evaluate how we're positioned. So we have had probably 6 months or so, 6 to 7 months of some better stock market returns. Bond markets have done better as well. So maybe some people that lost pretty big last year have made up at least a portion of those. And so now is kind of a second chance to take a look at that, look at how you're positioned, and see if you're taking on too much risk. So especially for the individuals that we work with that are close to retirement or close to wanting to retire, you're not able to take on as much risk. And a lot of times what we see when we go through and evaluate people's portfolios is they're taking on a lot more risk than they're aware of, and they don't necessarily understand the ramifications of taking on too much risk when it comes to when you're able to retire. So it's a great time to sit down with us, sit down with an advisor in general, and do a risk analysis. We have a whole process that we do where it measures not only your risk tolerance or how much risk you can take without making changes, but also your risk capacity. So how much risk do you need to take on in order to continue to meet your goals?
Well, since those in Washington seem to enjoy spending and being reelected, I am certain that at some point in time there will be a kumbaya moment where they reconcile and come out with some kind of package and plan. But is continuing to spend more money really the solution to continuing to hit our debt ceiling, Abby? That's kind of the rhetorical question that is in my mind. And regardless of the direction of Washington, I think that it's important, as you do with your clients, to take steps personally to position our dollars in a way that we find will help us to achieve our goals.
Right. And the thing that really sticks out to me is not necessarily the debt ceiling in itself or the banking crisis in itself, but the regularity of these things happening and the and how dramatic it is. And I really believe that that's because of social media, because the speed of news getting from one side of the world all the way to the other, things happen, bad news travels at the speed of light these days. And that's what affects markets in the short term. And so if you're not positioned correctly, if you don't have some downside protection, if you're taking on too much risk, these things are going to continue to happen. It's always going to be a different something in the headlines, especially as tech continues to expand, social media continues to expand. So these things are going to affect the market. It's going to happen more often. And so what's really important for people to figure out and have an analysis done on is, how is my portfolio going to react to these? And how is that going to affect my ability to reach my goals in the future? And what can I do about it to protect myself from these things going forward?
Well, these debates in Washington, especially when dealing with our fiscal situation as a nation and the ability to spend, certainly can impact the markets, and have before, likely will again into the future. And we are looking at that carefully over the next few weeks. One thing's certain, it seems that as much as they enjoy spending and being reelected, they like arguing almost just as much. But if you would like to have that plan together for your own personal financial confidence into and through retirement, that is the most important piece. And Abby Reed and the family from the Retirement Family Reed Financial Group can help you put that together. Pick up the phone, give them a call, 678-442-0255, 678-442-0255. Get your game plan for retirement put together. No cost, no obligation when you reach out to the Reed Financial Group. You can also go and submit questions you would like to hear addressed on the program at goaskabby.com. Goaskabby.com. And Abby, appreciate your insight onto the debt ceiling debate.
Absolutely. And we'll continue to keep an eye on it and see how it plays out until June 1st, which is the deadline. So we'll keep everybody updated.
Here to answer your financial questions, visit the website goaskabby.com for show resources and to submit your questions and get answers, or to schedule your complimentary financial investment and retirement planning strategy session. You can also reach out to Abby directly at 678-442-0255. That's 678-442-0255, or at goaskabby.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, LLC, BCM, a registered investment advisor. BCM and Reed Financial Group are independent of each other. Insurance products and services are not offered through BCM, but are offered and sold through individually licensed and appointed agents. Third-party ratings and recognitions are no guarantee of future investment success and do not ensure that a client or prospective client will experience a higher level of performance or results. These ratings should not be construed as an endorsement of the advisor by any client, nor are they representative of any one client's evaluation.